Hi, dear friend, and thank you for stepping into our podcast again. Who knows?
Who knows what we're going to talk about today?
Well, firstly, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. My back hurts. Being a woman sucks sometimes, but
Kind of once every month?
yeah. But we're chilling. We're here. We're surviving. Barely.
We? Are you talking in third person?
We as in womankind.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Because there's many others who are also being tortured right now. So
Yeah.
it's a joint effort.
But otherwise, how's your headspace?
Wonderful. Just keep going up.
I know.
Yeah, how are you?
I actually put you in my grateful things this morning. I write my journal every morning, and then I finish off with five things that I'm grateful for, sometimes 10, sometimes 20, depending on what role I'm in. Today was actually a full page, and I wrote that I'm really grateful that you're in such a good headspace at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm practicing. I just finished my newsletter yesterday, which I send out every Wednesday, and the headline the headline was stepping down from being a doer and welcoming my inner sloth. And that's
that's
tricky.
What it was. You and Dad were just talking sloths our morning.
Yeah, because he's kind of proofreading before I send out, because he's and then he loves them. But then today, I mean, it's just noon here today when we're recording this, and I've been up since 5:30, and I've been working nonstop and full on since I woke up, and that's not welcoming my inner sloth at all. But I'm scheduling my downtime, which is so important, because I love excuse me.
Oy.
I love what I do at the moment, and there's so many new things as well. So I'm so excited at what I'm working with, so it's hard to stop.
Yeah. I feel like I've always kind of needed, because Grandma has the same issue. She has issues with like just relaxing and not doing things all the time. Like, she's always doing something. If she's not baking, she's knitting. If she's not knitting, she's in the garden planting something. Like, she's always doing something, and you've kind of gotten that from her. And
not to the extent though, because I can lie down and binge watch a series on TV or something.
Yeah, but at the same time, even when you do relax, you're still doing stuff.
Yeah, so
like, it's very hard for you to completely shut down and just sink into a bed, I feel like, and not do anything.
Well, then I watch something or read something or listen to something.
Yeah.
And I think you do the same, actually. You don't really, because if I'm just gonna lie there in bed, then I sleep.
No, yeah.
So it's a different, But for me, downtime as well is at the moment painting. Then I lose hours and I can just spend time painting, which is kind of a meditation, I think. So yeah.
Oh, 100%.
But so I'm practicing that, and watching it, because I feel it's so rewarding to me on so many levels when I actually have that balance.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
So a smooth transition now into the topic of today. Because the topic today is growth and growing, and like a little flower. So when you look back, however many years you want to look back, and seeing where you've come, like where you are today, and the way you have this downtime, or the way you express yourself, or how you've just grown as a person, how do you feel about that?
But I didn't really understand the question. How do I from?
Like looking back on, like, let's say 10 years.
Mm-hmm. 10 years.
10 years.
Okay.
That's a lot of growth.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully.
Like, how do you, like, do you notice yourself how much you've grown? Like, do you ever have those, like, kind of realization moments? Of,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, shit, I'm up here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think there's certain kind of periods in my life where I felt like, ooh, something happened here. And normally it's stuff that are kind of, the obstacles are not kind of obstacles anymore. I can just walk around them, and then the nonsense is gone, and there's a release and letting go of stuff that has been weighing me down.
Yeah.
And also tools in life that I can grab onto that I didn't used to have. So the last 10 years, well, there's a lot that's been happening in the last 10 years. But, I mean, my biggest tools comes from my teacher, obviously, which I've been talking about before, all the tools that we got from Nalini G. And I still call my life, you know, before her and after her, because it's such a big difference. But growing, well, by the way, how the hell did you just grow from being 1 year old and kind of 1 meter tall to 182 or whatever you are now?
Yeah.
I mean, physically as well.
Yeah. Oh, God. When was, like, I can't remember exactly how old I was when I had my growth spurt.
Oh, you were in
But
pain.
I remember that pain so vividly.
Yeah.
Like, literally feeling your bones stretching
Yeah.
is such a mortifying and, like...
That 2 years, them 2 years you grew.
Yeah, my back especially. It was, yeah. Like, I grew, like, a foot in a year.
Yeah,
Like, it was insane. And now I'm finally calmed down and I've stuck to this height, hopefully.
Yeah, because growing, yeah, I mean, you're 18 now, you're not going to grow and you're tall enough.
Yeah.
But growing in that period, because I remember when I was 40, I've been really, really short until I'm still not tall, but I'm normal.
What are you? You're 169?
Well, yeah, I used to be. I probably shrunk a little bit now.
I remember
sadly.
the first time. I remember when I was, sorry I interrupted, but I remember when I was like 12, 11 maybe,
Yeah.
and we were in Sweden and we were retaking our passports, and we went to the embassy or whatever it's called, and I started measuring myself because I'm a kid and I'm bored in an embassy, and then we kind of all started measuring ourselves, and then you measured yourself and you were like, I've shrunk 5 centimeters.
No, it wasn't 5. It was 1.
No, it wasn't.
No,
It
you
was
can't
at
shrink 5
least-
centimeters. That's well.
Okay, maybe not
in a
5,
lifetime.
but it was.
No,
shrank
yeah, a centimeter, yeah. So I'm 169 centimeters.
Last time you measured, but how long ago was that?
Well, a few years. Let's not talk about that anymore. Do yoga, physical yoga, then you don't shrink so much. No, but going back to physically growing fast,
Yeah.
that can be so scary as well, because I remember when I was 14, 15, I had been the shortest person in the entire school, all the way. I mean, I was a head shorter than all my friends. Short, and tiny body. And then suddenly I think I was 14 or 15. Suddenly I just grew. I didn't have any pain, and my boobs came overnight,
Yeah.
which was so freakishly scary.
Yeah.
Because suddenly all my male friends, I had a lot of boyfriends, like just friends. And suddenly they didn't look me in the eye anymore. And I thought, no.
I had so many boyfriends.
No, but what
Yeah,
you say in English, you say boy, it's the
Yeah.
same, isn't it? It's
Guy
always
friends.
confused. The guy friends, yeah. And that completely ruined the way I felt comfortable
Yeah.
for a while around men, first of all, and then I've never had a deep cleavage in my, I don't walk around having
Yeah.
my boobs up in my, you can buy these bras
Yeah.
that lifts or what,
Push-ups.
push-ups and have a big cleavage, which
Cleavage, not cleavage.
cleavage. Did I say cleavage?
Twice.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe we should name it cleavage.
No.
So that was scary, talking about growing physically.
Yeah, I was kind of the same. Like I don't really remember having a process with my boobs. It was just flat, and then the next day, oh, they're there.
There, yeah.
It like
Was just a bit freakish.
it's like
I didn't like that at all.
give me a warning at least.
I
Like,
know, right?
It's like no, here you go.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
yeah. That
Yeah,
was,
I can kind of relate to that. Like I remember when I eventually did grow tits, that like everyone, especially teenage boys, just started treating me differently. And yeah, I agree that that's just kind of annoying. And it's like, no, I'm still, a person.
yeah,
not
but
just
they don't
walking
see it.
boobs.
Yeah, and then they're walking around with their testosterone and
Mm.
peak performance and everything like that. So yeah, that period I didn't like so much actually. I thought it was pretty, from 15, 16 there, that was, a bit, that
Yeah.
growth, physical growth period. And also mentally, of course, there's so much going on with the hormones and
Yeah.
everything in that period.
Yeah,
But
I was about to mention that like, especially at that age of like between, I'd say, 13 through 16, depending on the person.
yeah.
Like, that stage mentally can be so incredibly chaotic and draining because there's so much happening in your hormones and
Yeah.
growing both physically and mentally, and there's like everything around you, and it's like, yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah, it is a lot.
Yeah.
But if you could pick one period in your life, or a year, or it could be just one certain situation as well, where you felt like you had almost like an epiphany, or was it a longer period of time where you felt like, ooh, this has been good when you look back?
When I look back,
Mm-hmm.
because I was gonna say now, but
No.
like
Could be any age.
for me, I've kind of like when it comes to big life lessons or learning just moments in my life, they kind of just happen. Like it's very rarely where I actually put any mental energy into fixing this thing or like learning this thing. It just kind of comes into my mind randomly. I remember when I was 15, I think, like during quarantine and all that, that's when I learned, or I don't know, somehow downloaded into my brain acceptance, which is to this day one of the greatest things that I've ever learned. I really do cherish it. I also remember, also at 15, there was a time where I don't know if I was having like some kind of episode happening mentally, but like remember when I literally was having panic attacks daily because I kept freaking out that nothing was real. I don't know if that's like an epiphany, but like it opened my eyes into like after that phase of literally panicking every moment of every day that nothing is real, and that like that was a weird experience, but after that I kind of learned to accept that it doesn't really matter if this is real or not. It doesn't, like, it's beautiful, we're here, we're living, maybe, I don't know if we're living or not, but we're here. Like it doesn't really matter how we got here or where we go after, and we're just here, So I mean, I guess it was kind of an epiphany in a way. Same question back to you.
Well, there's I think meditation really helped me in the beginning, and pranayama, which is breathing exercises, and it helps to just let go of stuff that doesn't need to be in the head. It's still gonna come and go, I guess. So stupid nonsense that just enters or wants to enter, or so different, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But you say, okay,
No,
but I just wonder, because you answered and said you don't really consciously, it just comes to you, or it happens. But saying that, you have actually chosen to learn and to grow in around work and money and an acceptance of that lately. So you do pick and choose where you want to grow as well, which is amazing, I think.
100%. They're like the areas where I feel I truly do struggle in life, and I can tell isn't just gonna resolve itself. Those I do put effort into. However, there are so many areas where it's just kind of fixed itself somehow. I don't know how, but like it does. But yeah, 100%. Like there's the money issues, and then there's like whatever you want to call it, BPD or whatever, that I'm also currently in the process of learning how to manage with it in a different way that isn't acceptance. Like I've accepted it, but now I'm moving on to the next step of, okay, how do I deal with it? How can I figure out ways of
it's a process, isn't it?
Living with this and making it easier, you know?
Yeah.
So 100%, I do pick and choose when it's like affecting the way I live day to day. Then I do choose. But otherwise, sometimes it can just pop up into my head. I don't know how it works, but it does. The question I had for you is kind of going back to physical growth. As a mother, what's it like birthing something and then watching it grow? Like you have 2 sons and me. My brothers are 29?
29, yeah.
Yeah. So like you've been a mother for almost 30 years, and how is it watching the thing you've created just grow up and just be a normal person? Like I've never understood like how you can just make something in you and shoot it out and then just like, okay, now it's a person. Like how, what?
Well, first of all, it's really strange to have twin boys that are 29, because I don't feel older myself hardly inside. So that's strange, but I think, it's the wonder and the miracle in life to become a parent, and to be a woman. I'm so grateful, because I think fathers, they are a bit confused when the baby comes, because it takes a while for them to connect. But
they don't have that instinct.
No. And just walking around feeling that growth inside you is a miracle.
Oh,
and I love it.
I've seen so many videos of like babies moving when they're in their stomach,
yeah.
And it's like it's literally like a scene from the Alien movie.
Yeah.
I'm just
I know.
Oh, it freaks me out.
No, it is a little bit alien, but also at the same time, I love it. I could be pregnant all the time. I loved being pregnant with the boys, and I loved being pregnant. No, I did. I felt like a princess. I was so happy.
But what month specifically? Because you've specified that those last 1 or 2 months were...
No, the last month, because all 3 of mine have been heavy, the big babies or big kids. Or now they're bigger even, but, having twins that are 3.5 kilos each, I was 92 kilos when they arrived. So, and from behind you couldn't see that I was pregnant. So it was all a big, huge belly. But no, and seeing you guys grow up, I think I don't know if it's karmic or if it's luck or if it's the contracts we have made before you actually came here on a soul
waiting
level.
for those receipts.
So yeah, but I'm so happy because all three of you have turned out amazingly. I'm so proud of all three of you, and I know I have a finger in it, of course, and you know how we raised you and everything like that. But I have also seen families that have loved their kids equally as much as we have, and it hasn't turned out so good in one form or another. Not sure why, but I think our journey, or my journey with you three, has been I mean easy compared to a lot of other parents and kids, and you know, because I'm interested in teenage, you know, I had yoga workshops for teenagers in Spain, for girls, and I've always had an interest in especially the brain as well. Okay, you've heard it your entire
Growing
life.
up with this, like, you had this specific phase where you were obsessed with psychology, especially teen psychology. And it's like, no matter what I would come with you of any form of complaint, you'd be like, yeah, it's this part of your brain that's reacting. And like, I'm just like, okay, can I just complain? Like, your prefrontal cortex is not developed.
See? And still isn't actually at 18.
Yeah. Stop throwing it in my face. Like, I'm well aware of it. Thank you.
No,
God.
but I remember, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Joel or Marcus, your brother, because I said it so much for a while that, because if in the brain, I have to explain a bit, because if you haven't got your prefrontal cortex developed, which doesn't happen until your mid-20s, then your brain is done.
For context, the prefrontal cortex is the part of your brain that, like, is kind of, can process the thought of consequence. So,
well done, you picked up some
yeah,
brain knowledge.
because you've thrown it at me since I was like 12.
No, but I think what I was going to say, what was funny, because I was talking about it, and whatever my interest is, I kind of share it in the family because I think it's fascinating with the brain and how it grows and develops and what we pick up. So I can't remember if it was Joel or Marcus, but they started using it against me because when they did something, or was that you? They were going, well, Mama, my prefrontal cortex isn't ready, so that was an excuse then for doing something stupid.
God, that sounds so much like them. That sounds like Marcus.
It could have been,
Just
yeah.
being a little shithead.
No. No, but also, I mean, with you growing up with 3 languages, you have a different brain structure.
Yeah.
Because if you grow up with 3 languages or more, the brain is different than everybody else's in a really amazing way. I find it so fascinating. So yeah, I don't know why we started talking about the brain, but
how has being a mother helped you in your self-growth?
Firstly, stepping out of my egocentric self. I used to be a very egocentric young teenager and child, and I think most kids are in a way. But I was just living my life not thinking about anybody else than myself.
Also because you're the oldest out of 3 in your family.
Yeah.
Like, you kind of... It's, like, there's no wonder why you weren't... Or, like, why you were what did you
Egocentric?
say? Egocentric. Because, like, with younger siblings, typically the parents give them more attention. So then you kind of...
Yeah, my sister is 5 years younger and my brother is 6 years younger. So growing up, I was the boss.
Yeah.
They didn't have any say.
Second mom.
Yeah. But now we're close, very close, me and my sister. Yeah, that's the biggest thing but it kind of automatically fades away when you become a mother, I think. Because then there's another person
Yeah.
there that is so amazing, and the love and unconditional love you feel, it's just like there's no way you can think about yourself before that person.
Yeah,
That
like whether
comes.
you like it or not, you now have this responsibility of this
Yeah.
human you
Yeah.
created,
Yeah.
which is like, how is that even possible?
Yeah.
But, you know, so yeah, I mean, it makes sense. It would kind of force it out of you in some way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And patience. My God, the patience. I mean, I'm not bored. I still haven't got a lot of patience. I'm learning, and it's a daily thing to kind of think of. And the patience to sit in the playground looking at kids playing, it's so boring. I hate playgrounds. I've been to so many because you love them. All the, oh my God, that's so boring.
I have like
So
no
patience.
memories of being in a
Oh yeah, we have. No, but you've always had the beach close as well. That's the
Yeah, I
biggest
used to just
playground. So we're like, just go to the beach, and that's
yeah, I would go to the beach or I'd just
or nature,
go
animals,
out. Yeah.
and yeah. So either we haven't had playgrounds as such as they have in villages or cities. With the boys, a little bit different in certain times, but no, I've been lucky there.
The only memory I have of a playground is not really even a playground, but it's like the outdoor gym where I smashed my finger.
Oh dear, don't talk about that. Oh,
It's
yeah.
just fun seeing you cringe at the thought of blood.
Yeah. No, I think it's the pain as well when any of my children are in pain, mental or physical or whatever.
No, but you do have a thing with blood.
Yeah, I have a little bit.
You
of
pierced my ear when I was 11 and you just ran away because I started bleeding with a needle in my ear.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't really like that, but kind of.
It was.
No, it wasn't 100% like that. I didn't think it was gonna bleed that much.
It's my ear.
Yeah, but yeah.
You've pierced lobes, but this was your first time piercing cartilage, and
Yeah.
you realized, hey, there's veins in my ear.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, but when it comes to, let's look back, because I know you've said before the last couple of years since we moved from Spain to Bali, you have grown the most in your entire life, which is logical also, not only because what all the things that's been happening, but also the age from being 15 to 18 is very, very big step each year, including in the brain, actually.
There it is again.
She's shaking her head.
No, yeah, 100%. Like, especially, I've been doing it a lot more often recently. I've just kind of been looking back in a way and just seeing how far I've come in such little time.
Yeah, amazing.
And being so incredibly proud of myself, first of all, and also like mind blown by it, because it's like I can admit that yes, I'm not like most 18-year-olds. Like there are parts of me that are like those fucking rebellious and annoying little teenage parts of me. However, there are so many things that I've kind of realized a lot early. Like, Dad comes to me for advice sometimes because like I've realized certain things about myself, and he's in the process of like his self-healing and things, and like
you want to know your thoughts.
Yeah, and it's like every time I've gone to therapy, they've always said like, you're not a normal 18-year-old, you know. And it's really weird and fascinating being me. Like, seeing the way my brain or I process things and how quickly I can actually figure it out once I do put my mind to it. it's insane. Like, for example, like 2 months ago, I kind of set my mind to 2 weeks episode ago, detachment, non-attachment, um, because that's kind of been an issue my entire life, because I've always had very temporary relationships with people, and that's kind of caused severe attachment issues. Once I do get connected to people, I tend to put them in a box, and I'm like, you're mine now, you're not leaving. And I've always hated that. And 2 months ago, I was like, you know what, I'm really sick and tired of this, so I'm going to change that.
And isn't it interesting that you hate that when somebody does that to you?
Oh, yeah.
You freak out.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
You
No,
run.
that's why I hate it, because I know that feeling, and I'm like, no, just don't. But yeah, I set my mind to it like 2 months ago, and then like a month later, this issue that's been an issue my entire life fixed.
Yeah.
Like I was able to take someone that I was very severely attached to and get non-attached from them within a month's time or less, which has been an issue my whole. It's just like my brain does stuff without me being able to catch up with it. So like I kind of just have to sit back and see like what it does, and I'm like, damn, you did that, you know? But yeah, I mean, ever since we moved to Bali, there's been so much that's happened that I wouldn't change a thing, because it made me who I am today, and I think I'm pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm very, very proud how you dealt with everything, the move and the, changing. It's like moving to a different planet, coming
100%.
from Spain
different
to
culture,
here.
different nature.
So, of course, you've grown probably faster than most.
Yeah.
The last 3 years, which is pros and cons to that as well, because
Yeah.
I do like for you to just
Be a
be
child.
young and crazy as well, not in a bad crazy way, but just enjoying just being in that period, because it's not going to come back.
Yeah,
this
we
period,
were talking about this like last week or just a few days ago, like, because you were saying exactly this of like, yeah, but don't you ever just want to like let go and be your age and be a teenager and be crazy? And the thing is, I've always felt more mature than my age. Like, even now when people remind me that I'm 18, I'm like, what? No, that's not right. Like, I'm mentally, I'm not 18. I don't feel 18. Like, in my brain, I told you this, I have a 4-year-old and I have an 84-year-old, and it just kind of switches in between the two. And that's, yeah, I don't know. I've never really felt the need to be young and crazy. Like, I had that phase of being young and crazy, and it was the worst year of my life. So now I'm just, I don't feel the need to pressure myself to be anything. I just am.
Yeah, which is amazing.
But I understand your perspective of like, enjoy the time that I do have being 18. But I don't know.
Is there anything that you think, if you think forward a bit, is there anything that you feel or looking forward to in your growth period?
No, I can't answer that. I have no idea. I have zero idea of how I'm going to grow, where I'm growing to. Me and my growth process.
But have you got any wants? You want to grow in that area, or you want to develop more in that area, or you want to get more grounded in this area, or you want to release or let go of that, or I mean, there's so many different levels, layers, shades, shapes, colors to growing, I think.
I want to fix my money issues, which I'm currently in the process of. I also want to dig deeper into masculine and feminine energy and seeing the balance of that within me and also being able to recognize that in others. Because I think that masculine and feminine energy are very fascinating parts of us, and being aware of which one does what and which one is a part of what within yourself can help you understand yourself a lot better, I feel. Yeah, I think those are my current ones. Like I don't really think about, okay, I want to do this. It just kind of happens, you know? I don't know, I'm weird.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
Well,
Stop
everybody's
taking
weird
that. Yes.
in their own way.
I gotta sneeze.
Okay,
Oh no.
look at the light. There's no light in here.
Oh, it's not coming out. Pineapple, pineapple, pineapple. I'm fine.
Okay, good. You're tearing up, but it didn't come.
It's because it was one of those like painful ones that just refused to come out.
Ouch.
Yeah. What about yourself?
Well, I
Where
mean,
are you grown to?
like I said in the beginning, I want to embrace my
Sloth.
inner sloth a little bit more, taking it slower.
That's funny because you've always loved sloth.
I do
Like
love
you have
them.
a deep passion for sloths.
It's one of my bucket list things to do. Go to Brazil and volunteer in one of these sloth sanctuaries where they help, and put them back into the jungle and stuff. Yeah, they're just fascinating. And I love their cute little faces. Oh my God. Yeah, so that is it's actually a fun work in progress because it allows me to just, okay, I'm just gonna not feel
Chill.
guilty to just lie on the sofa and read a book that's been collecting dust.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need to do things all the time. Yeah, so that is one thing. And then my addiction to something, since I was a 15-year-old, I was a party girl.
Yeah.
And I've always had, if it wasn't nicotine, I'm not saying I'm addicted, so I'm shaking in the morning, but like...
You have addictive mindset.
Mindset, yes. So currently now then, I'm not drinking any alcohol, which it's kind of boring at the moment. No, I'm going to be honest, it is boring.
It's funny because I just want to give a little context. Mom she has these break periods with alcohol where you just kind of cleanse and,
Yeah.
I don't know, regroup. And before these cleansing starts, she's looking at me like, no. You kind of have a little, like, party for yourself.
Yeah.
So this Sunday, you drank a whole bottle of champagne.
Yep. I did.
And you had a little fiesta.
Mm-hmm. No, but I'm looking at that, but now it's the first time I feel like, yeah, maybe it's leaving me maybe forever. Because I know it's self-soothing. I'm not a big drinker, but I drink often. Like 2 glasses of wine almost every day, and then my mind goes, yeah, but it's the Spanish way. I've been there 20 years. This is what we do in Spain, and yeah, but it's disturbing my peace of mind, and I'm not. So I'm working on that and seeing what is it that I cover up with that, because it's always something when the way I feel and the way I've read about it as well, and I listen to podcasts around this, that you're reaching for external power and covering something up that might need to be dealt with. And for me, I need to work on feeling safe in this world, and not being afraid. I'm not walking around being afraid, but apparently people tell me that I am afraid because otherwise I wouldn't have my control issues and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I'm in a bloody growth.
I don't think it's that you're afraid. I think it's just that you feel unsafe and uncomfortable.
Yes.
And you don't feel comfortable enough to be able to relax.
Yeah.
To be able to be comfortable.
And just let it be.
Being sober. And not needing this alcohol. I think that's the, like, in my opinion, I think that's the reason why you do, like, have had these, like, air quotes addictions, like, to nicotine and to alcohol, and like,
Yeah.
because it's kind of a comforting feeling where, like, you're giving yourself this comfort through these substances because you can't find that comfort within yourself.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's very clear.
Yeah.
You know, I know this, but now I feel like it's time to just deal with it and heal it. And I think this year as well, this year is such a transformational year.
Yeah.
And I feel 2023, like we're in now, I hear other people talking about, all the shit is just bubbling up and we need to look at it and deal with it. And one part of me thinks it's really boring and hard work, and another part, which is the bigger part of myself, find it rewarding, fascinating, freeing in a way as well, and also very grounding in my body more and more. So I'm looking forward to a little bit. I like a challenge. You know, I do.
It's funny because this new year, like from 2022 to 2023, we all kind of just sat down and we all felt in our intuition that this year was going to be the year of self-growth and self-love and healing. And it's fascinating that we could feel that so strongly on New Year's.
Yeah.
And seeing how that's actually how the year has been going.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I truly do feel that this year is that self-growth, self-healing, self-acceptance, and all these things.
Yeah, and not only for us people, I think it's for the world and the society and the programming and the systems we used to live in. And I think it's transforming. It's so many frequencies and energies that are beautiful that are popping up. But
and
my
think
God,
also,
we've been talking times.
I think also that after like COVID and quarantine, the world is finally healing after that traumatic, energetic fuckery. Sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
But yeah.
Right, we need to love you and leave you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for listening. If you enjoy our talks, please come over to Substack. You have the link in the description, and join our backstage. That would be amazingly appreciated. We're so grateful if you subscribe. Also, even if you don't go into the backstage area, which we record right after this, we continue this for another 10-15 minutes. Some more backstage intimate stories sometimes, which helps us a lot, of course. But on Substack, you can still subscribe, and then you get a notification in your email every Thursday when we release a new episode.
Yeah.
So, but what we forget, that last few, we haven't done grateful things.
Yeah.
So let's do that before we go into the Substack, and then we can finish off here.
Okay, do you want to start or should I?
You go.
Okay. I am very, very, very grateful for how much I've grown, both physically and mentally. It's a big accomplishment.
Indeed.
I'm very, very grateful for having a roof over my head and food and water and hot water in the shower and a bed and all those things that we forget to be grateful for because we just
take for granted.
Yeah. And I'm very grateful that we live on such a beautiful planet and that we are allowed to live on this beautiful planet. Like, this planet is incredibly beautiful and we're just here. Like, that's amazing. So, yeah. Word of no, we don't do that here.
No, we don't.
Here you go.
I'm super grateful that you are such an amazing girl. and that we have this relationship together.
Yeah.
And I'm very grateful for all the friends that we have here on this amazing Bali island. And I'm also very grateful for our home that is, well, 85% ready after renovation. And I'm grateful that we do this pod together.
Yeah.
All right, lovelies. See you next time.
Keep growing.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.